It started like any other late afternoon checkup, the kind where the air inside the clinic feels a little too cold, the lights a little too harsh, and time moves just a bit slower than usual. Dr. Karen Ellis had already seen 11 patients that day, and she was thinking about dinner when the nurse knocked on the door and said quietly, "Room 4, 9-year-old girl, routine stomach pain. Dad is with her." Karen grabbed the chart without much thought, but the moment she opened the door, something felt off. The girl was small for her age, pale, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She sat at the edge of the exam table, hands in her lap, knees turned inward. She wouldn't make eye contact. Her father, or at least a man listed as her father, stood beside her with arms crossed, looming. Karen was good at reading people. You had to be. After 20 years in family medicine, the man smiled too wide, too stiff. The girl flinched when his phone rang. That was red flag number 1. Karen smiled and crouched a little to meet the girl's gaze. "Hi there. I'm Dr. Ellis. What's your name?" The girl didn't answer. She glanced sideways at the man. He spoke for her. "Her name's Lily. She's shy. Hasn't been feeling well." Karen offered a soft nod and turned her attention to Lily again. "Is it okay if I talk to you alone for a minute?" The man tensed. "Is that necessary?" "It's just a routine part of our exam process," Karen replied casually, though her inner alarm was ringing now. "Only takes a minute." He hesitated, then finally stepped out. The door clicked shut behind him. Karen leaned in gently. "Lily, are you hurt?" The girl's lower lip quivered, but she didn't speak. "Are you scared of that man?" Karen asked quietly. Lily's eyes flicked to the door. Then slowly, barely perceptibly, she nodded. Karen's heart sank. "Lily, can you tell me where it hurts?" she asked, needing something concrete. The girl pressed her hand lightly over her side. "Here, but it's not just today. It hurts a lot." Karen nodded, massive calm unwavering. "We'll take an x-ray just to be sure." She stepped out into the hallway, her voice casual as she asked for imaging, but her words were directed at the nurse on duty. "Let's make this top priority. Now!" The scan came back 30 minutes later, and what Karen saw made her blood run cold. There, on the x-ray, beneath Lily's ribs, were 3 distinct, clean fractures. 2 partially healed, 1 more recent. These weren't from an accident. They were from force, repeated force. Karen didn't hesitate. She picked up the phone and dialed 911. "Yes, I need immediate response to a child abuse case. 9-year-old girl. Injuries consistent with ongoing trauma. Suspected abuser on site. We need law enforcement now." Minutes later, uniformed officers arrived. Karen kept Lily in a private exam room. The man, who had grown agitated in the waiting room, tried to leave when he saw them, but it was too late. They stopped him, questioned him, then handcuffed him on the spot. He wasn't Lily's biological father at all. He was her mother's ex-boyfriend, someone who had been watching Lily after the mother's sudden death in a car crash 6 months earlier. There was no formal custody, no oversight. He had moved her across state lines. No school enrollment, no medical records since the crash. And Lily had been carrying the pain of it all in silence, until that one clinic visit, until a doctor noticed the way her eyes darted toward the floor. Karen sat beside Lily for hours after everything settled. The girl eventually told her, voice soft, barely above a whisper, that he had told her never to tell anyone. "He said no one would believe me, that I'd go to jail," Lily whispered. Karen held her hand. "That's not true. You were very brave today, and you're safe now." Lily finally smiled. That smile would later appear in court, when Lily, supported by a social worker, a new guardian, and Karen herself, testified about what had happened. The man was sentenced to 25 years without parole. And Lily? She found a new home with her late mother's sister, who had been searching for her since the accident, unaware that Lily was being hidden just 2 towns over. Today, Lily is thriving. She paints. She runs track. She says she wants to be a doctor one day, just like Dr. Ellis. And as for Karen, she still keeps Lily's first drawing pinned above her desk. A crude sketch of a woman with a white coat and a stethoscope, kneeling beside a little girl with a yellow heart on her shirt. The caption, in uneven block letters, says, "She saw me," because sometimes justice starts with a question and someone brave enough to listen.